Hello and welcome to my channel. Here we'll learn the lore and stories of the world of Tyria. Today we will learn the history of Canach, one of the major characters in the Visions of Eternity expansion. This is mainly for people that haven't played the expansions leading up to VOE, or people who plowed through the expansions and didn't really pay that much attention to the story itself. So, let's get into Canach's story. As always, you can find the full lore on the official Guild Wars 2 wiki. Let's begin. Born of the Dream. Canach was born on Sylvari, a child of the Pale Tree, in the early years of his people. He was a second-born, born during the cycle of night. From the moment he awoke, he carried a sense of pride and independence that set him apart. Where many Sylvari followed the teachings of Ventari's tablet, peace, balance, and compassion, Canach looked instead to freedom and personal strength. His mind was sharp, his words cutting, and though he respected the dream, he was never bound by it. The Mercenary and the Criminal. Canach's independence grew into rebellion. He took mercenary work across Tyria. His keen mind and magic earned him coin and a reputation for control and precision. Yet pride led him astray. In service to the Consortium, a powerful profit-driven trade company, he was tasked to oversee a new resort venture on South Sun Cove. The project's hidden goal was to enslave refugees through exploitation, something Canach despised once he learned the truth. To make the Consortium pay, he sabotaged their operations, setting the island's creatures loose and triggering chaos. But his actions had devastating consequences. Refugees and settlers alike were put at risk. The Lion Guard arrested him, and he was imprisoned under the authority of Captain Magnus the Bloody-Handed. For a long time, Canach remained behind bars. There, he reflected, but not with regret. Instead, he refined his sense of justice. Shortly after Scarlet Briar's invasion of Lion's Arch, he was offered release in exchange for his service. He accepted, not for redemption, but for a chance to shape his own fate again. War and Debt. Canach's service under Queen Jenna began as a matter of duty. Though he disliked human politics, he came to respect the Queen's cunning and patience. As part of her special operations, he fought in battles across Tyria, from the siege of Lion's Arch to the assault against Morgemoth in the Maguma jungle. Through these struggles, Canach became a different kind of warrior. The sarcastic criminal became a strategist and fighter with discipline. He fought beside the pack commander and proved invaluable, particularly during the jungle campaign where his tactical skills saved thousands of lives. His debt to Jenna, once a chain, became instead a mark of trust and purpose. Even after his debt was repaid, Canach remained an ally of the commander, not because of obligation, but because he had found something like friendship. Sand, Sky, and the Sly Corsair. After the war in the Maguma jungle, Canach's chains to the Pact and the Seraph loosened, but his desire for purpose did not. When the Elder Dragon Kralkatorrik stirred again and the commander's journey led to the Crystal Desert, Canach was among those who followed. There, in the sun-bleached wastes and jagged cliffs, fate brought him into the orbit of a woman as cunning as he was, Saida the Sly. Saida was no ordinary smuggler. She was the captain of the Dark Leviathan, a massive Corsair vessel feared and respected across Elona's coast. The Sly crew, her loyal band of sky and sea raiders, followed her with absolute devotion. A descendant of the legendary Margrid the Sly, Saida carried that same balance of charm, danger, and unpredictable wit. When the war against the Brandon and Kralkatorrik's corruption spread across the desert, Saida and her Corsairs found themselves drawn into the conflict, sometimes by gold, sometimes by honor, and sometimes by curiosity about the dragon-hunting commander and their Sylvari companion. Canach and Saida's partnership began as business. She provided transportation, trade, and passage through perilous skies, yet soon Their banter and mutual respect hinted at something warmer. A connection born from shared defiance and clever hearts. Saida's operations expanded as her fame grew. While she remained captain of the Dark Leviathan, she and her crew also came to command a new vessel, an airship whose name was never revealed in public records. She never sold the Dark Leviathan. Instead, she used both ships, the sea and sky alike becoming her domain. Canach admired her fiercely. To him, Saida represented freedom, a kind he had never known under the pale tree, nor in chains of debt or duty. In turn, Saida saw in Canach a rare soul, disciplined yet wild, sardonic yet noble. Though their paths often split as wars ended and new threats rose, their bond endured like embers under sand, quiet but never cold. From Thorn to Guardian. As Tyria continued to face one crisis after another, Canach remained a steady ally of the Pact commander. He fought not for kings or crowns, but for the fragile peace he had helped build. When war came again against the Elder Dragon Kralkatorrik, then later in Cantha, Canach's blade and wit were once more at the commander's side. He had become something rare, a Sylvari not bound by the dream, nor by the poison of Mordermoth, but by his own sense of right and wrong. His past as a saboteur and prisoner never vanished. Instead, it became the foundation of who he was. From mercenary to strategist, from rebel to soldier, Canach was the thorn that refused to break. Now, when the wind rustles through Tyria's fields or across the deck of the Dark Leviathan, one might imagine the sly smile of a Sylvari who learned to make his own destiny. A man who once broke the world to rebuild himself, and found in its ashes a freedom worth keeping. This has been the story and lore of Canach. I hope you enjoyed this video. Personally, I think Canach is one of the best characters in the game, maybe even my favorite altogether. His struggles, his humor and involvement in the whole story of Guild Wars 2 is really a special piece. With that said, thank you for watching this video. Please like and comment something you thought was interesting or something that I missed. Also subscribe to not miss future lore content in this format. Now, take care, and I will see you in the next story. Goodbye.